Let me discuss in this class a user-defined exception. So user-defined exceptions are going to be we have two types of exceptions, right? So under that built-in exception, just now in the previous we have discussed about that built-in exception. Now we are going to for user-defined exception. This is also the same fashion how the packages, predefined packages and user-defined packages are there, right? To create that one. Here also we have built-in exceptions and also we can create our own exceptions. Why we are going to creating our own exception is nothing but instead of getting a different text from the predefined message, like it is showing arithmetic exception divided by 0, it's a predefined messages are going to be giving. Instead of that one, if you want to create your own exception, when you are creating your own exception, it will be printed your own lines of code to easily understood. Because here is the code is very simple, 10 lines, maximum 20 lines of code is there. So easily we can identify where is the exception. But when you are developing a big applications, at that time, thousands of lines of code will be available. At that time, it is very impossible. It is not that much of easy to identify where the exception is there. So because of that only, the built-in exceptions or user-defined exceptions are there. To easily identify out of the thousands of lines of code, which is you develop for a particular application, when you are going for the MNC companies, to easily identify that one, you can write your own exception such a way that you can easily, yes, I have a hint here. So because of you can write your own user-defined exception, easily you can catch where the exception is getting, at which block the exception is getting, easily you can identify. Now coming to the topic, the creating our own subclasses means creating your own exception. Creating your own exception means what? Exception class is the root for all, for the checked exception as well as for the unchecked exception. Now you are going to be creating a user-defined exception. User-defined exception is nothing but what? Is a subclass for exception class. It's a subclass for exception class. That's why the topic called as creating the user-defined, that is own exception subclasses. Although Java built-in exceptions handle most common errors, you probably want to create your own exception here. When you want to create your own exception types to handle situations specific to your applications, then you can just define a subclass of exception. Subclass of exception means what? Exception is a super class, and whatever the class subclass you are going to defining is a user-defined class, right? Of course, is a subclass of throwable. So who will be throw that exception? Throwable class itself. So the exception class does not define any methods of its own. So it does, of course, inherit those methods provided by the throwable. So whatever the throwable method will be there, that will be inherited by the exception class. Only it will be inherited. When we can go for inherited, parent child. Who is the parent here? Exception is the parent, and the user-defined exception is a child over here. So thus all the exceptions, including those that have the create, how the methods defined by throwable available to them, right? So in the throwable, whatever the exceptions methods you want to be defined, that will be done, and that will be throwable with the help of that user-defined exception. So let me discuss an example so that we can understand clearly how to create an user-defined exception. So before that, we need to, when we want to be defined the exceptions, we required 4 public constructors. The 2 supports chained exception that we'll discuss in the next slide, next section. So 4 public constructors we required when you want to be how exceptions need to be defined. So the other 2 of that is exception with 0 parameter. Another is exception with 1 parameter. That parameter is a string message. So we need to be 4 public constructors when you want to define an exception. Out of that, 2 are chained exception, and the other 2 are exception with 0 parameter, exception with 1 parameter. That is string message. And to allow chained exception, to allow the chain exception, 2 constructors and 2 methods were need to be throwable by the throwable class. The 2 constructors are, it is throwable, another is with 1 parameter, another is throwable with 2 parameters. So here we are going to be throwing the object of throwable class, and here we are going to throwing a message as well as a object of throwable class. So these are the 4 constructors. One is the exception with 0 parameter, exception with 1 parameter, throwable with 1 parameter, throwable with 2 parameters. And what are the 2 methods are there is get cause and initiate cause. Cause is nothing but what will happen, what is the impact, what is the effect, which will be done with the help of with the effect of that exception. So throwable get cause is one method, throwable init cause with 1 parameter is another method. So just remember while you are writing in the examinations, you please make sure that how we can be create an user-defined exception. And to create that one, for creating any exception, for defining any exceptions, we required 4 public constructors that are exception 0 parameters, exception 1 parameter, throwable 1 parameter, throwable 2 parameters. And we required 2 methods. One is get cause and initiate cause. This is the theoretical way. Now going for creating our own, we have different methods are available. So these are the methods. You can write a few methods in the examinations. Like just now we have discussed about the get cause, right? Get cause method is returns an exception that underlies the current exception. If there are no underlying exception, it will returns null. Okay. So we can have get a message also, a description, total a description, sort of description, detailed description. Where we are observing this type of exception, say for example, you have entered a ATM card in the ATM machine and you are enter a correct user password and you enter the amount is wrong because the amount balance in your account is say for example 5,000, but you are entering as 10,000. Is a runtime exception. Runtime means on the spot, on the live, you are going to be entering a wrong amount which is not there in your account. So at that time, what type of exception has to derive? It is derive a complete message like because of low balance. Currently, you have only 5,000, but you are entering 10,000, which is a not correct input. Like this, a detailed description, if you want to give to the user, then you can use this type of exception. That is get the message, or you can use the get the cause. Like this, we can do it. Or else to want to define clearly where actually at which line for what purpose the exception has raised. Suddenly, if you are going to be operating, say for example, if you are operating, doing this shopping in Amazon, suddenly an exception has occurred, which is not, the product is not available. So at that time, clearly the Amazon app has to tell you that because of not stock properly, stock is not available. That's why you are not able to order the product. If they say clearly, then user can understand very clear. Instead of not clearly saying, if you are closing automatically, if the app is closing automatically, then you know not able to know what is the error, what is happening. When I am clicking the order, it is going to be closing the app. So such a incorrect giving assessment to the users, it's a very confusion. Instead of that, properly, if you are defined clearly the message, then it is very good. So to define that type of messages, to define that type of methods, we can use this type of methods which is available in this one. So add suppress method, fill and stack method, get cause method, get localized message, get message, or we can use the stack trace element. Stack trace element is nothing but like we have a tracing, right? When you're writing the C program, we have a tracing. You can trace it with the help of the trace option directly we have, right? So Alt F, Alt 5, when you're pressing that one, it is going to be traced with the help of watch option, with the help of add options, we can trace the code where the output is not coming, why it is not coming. In the same fashion, here also we can trace the exception with the help of these stack trace element array. And we have also methods like throwable, we have methods like init cause, we have methods like print stack trace, we have methods like printed stack trace with one parameter, with having the print stream parameter with the print writer parameter. We have a set stack trace. We can set it where exactly the error is coming. We can have also toString method. Like this, multiple methods are available in this user-defined exceptions to define that one. So these methods can be useful directly whenever we require. So these are that much not detailed. We can write it in the examination. Only a few can be picked the methods which are comfortable to you, and you can write it in the examination as a theoretical part. And coming to the example, now let me discuss a demo on user-defined example. So till now, what we have discussed about what is the purpose of the creating of our own exception, and we have seen how many constructors and how many methods are required, and what are the different methods are available that can be picked, which are closer to be understandable to you. You can pick of that such type method, 4 to 5 methods you can pick, and you can write it in the examination. For every method, there are the multiple examples out there. But as per the syllabus, only we have to discuss how to create and the user-defined exception. That's all. Now coming to a demo. Here I am creating a user-defined exception called as invalid age exception. So to identify invalid exception, already have said you from which class it is calling. What is the topic name? Creating own exception subclass. Who is the parent class? Exception. Which is the subclass here? Invalid age exception. Invalid age exception is a user-defined name. You can create even with your name also, like class KKB extends exception, where KKB is the user-defined exception. Now invalid age exception is a user defined exception here. So already I have said you that when you are calling that user defined exception, we have to be call immediately the respective constructor. What is the class, user defined class you are going to creating? Invalid exception. So we require a constructor for that one, because this is a class which we are going to be creating with your own. So when you are creating with your own, definitely a constructor is required. When you are creating object for this class, we require the constructor, right? So how to call that one is, it is calling super of this one. Who is the super for this is, it is calling the super itself. So this block is called as creating user defined class, that is user defined exception constructor. So whatever the class, user defined class you are considered, for that class you need to be create user defined constructor. So the class name here is the invalid age exception, and the constructor also user that is invalid age exception with one parameter, that is string yes, and super of s means it is calling that exception itself. Because if you are not using the constructor, default constructor, automatically the compiler will create the constructor, but here is a user defined, so you had to call yourself. That's why I'm going to using here is a super. Okay, so hope you remember in the previous, when you are compiling a program without having any constructor in that one, by default the compiler will add the constructor. In the same fashion, who is the class here? User defined class, user defined exception, that is invalid age exception. So I need to create the constructor, that is invalid age exception constructor, and I need to be called that. So who will be called? Ourselves, because it's a user defined. Our own we have to be called. That's why super of yes. So this is the exception we have created. Now coming to the main method. Now I'm going to creating a class called as text custom exception one. I'm going to creating here, and here I'm calling a method. I'm just calling a method called as valid. This is the method, total method here. I'm calling a valid method, and the parameter I'm passing here is a age. So throws invalid age exception. So previously we have throws arithmetic exception, we have thrown the IO exception, we have thrown the array index out of bound, right? That are the predefined. Now we had to throw which we had to throw which exception? We had to throw user defined exception. What is the name of the user defined exception? Invalid age exception. Okay. So if the age is less than 18, whatever the input we are getting, less than 18, it is throw a new invalid age exception, that is not valid. Previously, what we have thrown? We have thrown arithmetic exception. Now, what we have throws here? What we have throw here? Throwing invalid age exception, which is a user defined exception. Else display welcome to out, and calling the main method. And here I'm going to using try and catch. Here I'm going to using the try and catch blocks. Now valid of 13, it will goes to here, and age is the 13. 13 less than 18, it will raise an condition is true. It will raise an exception that is not valid, and it will be catch. Exception occurred, not valid, like this. So previously, same example, hope you remember. I think I'll just go to that slide so that you can understand very clearly where we have defined that. Here itself. And here itself, we are throwing the third example. It's better for us. 25. We have discussed the same example, right? Here, right? See here. This is throw keyword. For this, we have taken the example. Test throw one valid age, and this is the block. This is the method, right? And we are calling main method valid of this age 13. 13 is less than. Here throw new arithmetic exception. Now instead of arithmetic exception, what we have defined? Our own exception, invalid age exception, right? And it will be catch that one. And also we can use the throws, right? We are also using the throws. We have seen without throws and with the throws. The same example we have seen. So because of that, there is an error is coming. So the same, instead of that only, here it is a throws. Normally it is throwing. See, it is throws IO exception. Now it is throws user defined exception. Throw new IO exception. Throw new invalid age exception, which is invalid age exception is the user defined exception. That's all. Nothing has to be changed to understood very clearly about the user defined exception, right? So it will raise the error and rest of the code will be executed. Now the same will be run this program. Now let me go this to run the program. So here's text custom exception. See the code. So here I'm going to creating a class called as user defined invalid age exception class here, and this is a constructor creating, and I'm creating one more class to call the main method, and inside the method I'm going to be calling the valid method, here, and it is throws. If it is less than, it will throws this. So throws invalid age exception and throw new invalid exception. And I'm calling the main method try and calling the valid of 13. It will cause this method and catch. It will catch that one and will do and rest of the code. So what is the difference of that previous and this one? Here we don't have, this is the block for user defined. This is a user defined exception. This is a user defined exception class. What is the name of the user defined exception class? Invalid age exception. Now here instead of throwing built-in exception, I am throwing user defined exception. Throws user defined exception. Instead of throwing built-in exception, I am throwing here user defined exception. That's all. That is a change. The rest of the code is same. And I will run the program. What is the name of the program is? Text exception here 1, right? Text custom exception 1. Now go to the command prompt. Clear the screen, Java C space. Here, if you don't have any error, run the program. See, exception occurred, invalid age exception, not valid, rest of the code. So if you are giving the correct input, say for example, I'm giving 18 or else I'm giving 19, he or she will be eligible for vote. I'm compiling once again because I have changed the code and I'm running. So welcome to vote, rest of the code. Like this, we can done it, okay? So this is one example. Now coming to the another example, what we can discuss about this one is custom here. For this program, we can write the code. What is the program here is? Program to throw a user-defined exception called as negative, and if the entered input is a negative, if the entered input is a negative number. So what we have, what is the program aim? We had to be write a user-defined exception. Whenever you entered a negative value, if you give a negative value, it will be calls that negative exception, negative user-defined exception. It's very simple program. If you enter a negative number, it has to be called the negative user-defined exception. That is the program. Very simple. Okay. So let me see the code. Here I am creating a class user-defined exception, that is invalid positive exception. Invalid positive exception. Invalid positive means what? Negative. So I'm creating a user-defined exception, invalid positive exception, extends exception, and I'm creating a constructor here and calling that constructor. Calling the constructor means with the help of super. So this is one user-defined class exception. Now I'm calling user-defined class, that is test custom exception 2. And here I'm using the native method. Instead of the valid there, I'm just using native method. Throws invalid positive exception. If the valid 0 means what? How to identify the negative number? If it is less than 0, then it is a default, it is a negative number. So I'm just throwing a throw new invalid positive exception. Entered number is a negative. Else, if you entered 1, 2, it is a welcome to positive world. That is, I'm just calling the main method and I'm creating a scanner because I'm runtime, I'm going to be giving the input. So int check is equal to next int of this and negative of check. I'm calling that one. Negative of check means it will be called to here. So valid, what is the valid in that? Check. What is the check value? Based on that, it will be less than 0. It will raise this exception, throws this. If it is not, it will welcome to the positive world. And this is the try catch in this one, and exception occurred and rest of the code. Now let me run the program. What is the program name? Text custom exception 2. Nothing more difficult. Java C space .java. So no errors, then run the program. See, I'm giving the input as 5. Welcome to positive world because it's a 5 positive number. I'm just giving -1. It's a negative number. Exception occur. Invalid positive exception. Entered number is a negative number. So if you want, you can ask here the input instead of empty statement. You can ask here itself. System dot out dot println. Just enter a number, positive or negative. Your choice. Okay, that number will be saved here. Just I'm once again compile the program. Okay, I'm just running the program. Enter a positive or negative number. I'm just giving 5, 6, 7. Welcome to the positive world. And if I'm giving the negative numbers, see if I'm giving the negative number like -120, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is a exception error occurred. Valid, invalid positive exception. Entered number is a negative number, and rest of the code. Like this, we can satisfy the aim of this program. So like this also we can write it. And just remember how to write a user-defined exception means this is the simple way. And just only theoretically you can remember the exception constructors and the methods throwable, all that. And practically when you are creating a user-defined exception, please remember with the help of extends exception. Exception is the parent class and the user-defined is the child class for that one. And we have to call the constructor here. That's all. How to create means this is the how to create a user-defined exception means this 4 lines is enough. 3 lines is enough for that. Okay. So that's about the user-defined exception in Java. So by that, we have completed this user-defined concepts as well as we have completed the chapter 1 of the unit 4. Okay, that's about the user-defined exceptions.